Good morning, fam, and happy Friday to you. This is Dr. Tommy Pringle coming to you again with another work week inspirational and encouraging weekly recap for this week. On Tuesday, we talked about being ready when the Lord calls you into service and how it's hard to disconnect from what is physical in order to connect to what is spiritual because of the history in the physical and the newness of the spiritual. But Matthew stepped away from his physical position for spiritual fulfillment. And on Wednesday, we talked about how Simon and Andrew were called into service and how Christ said he would make them fishers of men if they followed him. And even though there are going to be times when you may not care for the occupation of the person or the person themselves that you're called to serve with, trust and know that the mission is much larger than we are. And on Thursday, we talked about how the Lord will decide your service and pointed out the fact that sometimes people you're close to may not see or understand the plan that the Lord has for you. David was a prime example. His own family overlooked him as being the one that the Lord could call to serve as the future king over Israel. Aren't you glad that God is the head of the service selection in your life? One other thing to point out about yesterday's scripture in reference to David is that even though God chose David when he was young, David didn't become king until he was 30 years old. So even though the Lord may have given you insight on your service at a younger age or earlier on in your life and how he was going to use you, be patient, because he may not be ready to birth it out of you until you're mature enough to handle it. Allow that to resonate in your spirit today as the Lord continues to shape and mold you into the Christian that he called you to be. I love you with the love of the Lord. Be blessed this week.